98%. 98% of you all are going to fail this year as you try to fulfill your New Year's resolutions. Why? Think about it. We live in a society which sets us up for failure. You're trying to lose weight? Well, every time you look around, someone's trying to sell you a jelly donut or sell you food that's going to give you a heart attack, trying to get into the best shape of your life. Well, you want to go to the gym, but you work at a job that doesn't have any on-site work facilities, keeps you in your desk 8 to 10 hours a day, and then you've got a commute of an hour each way. You get home, you're tired, you've got kids. Yeah, there are just tons of barriers in the way. You want to start a company. All right, you need a business model, business plan, you need a loan, you need to have great credit, yada, yada, yada. All those excuses are out there. Gentlemen, that is why 98% of people fail. They think that, I've got a lot of willpower. I'm going to be able to push it and just make it happen. And that may work for the first few days, first maybe few weeks if you're really hardcore. But February, March, April, all of a sudden, that's when resolutions die, because you cannot use willpower to just make things happen. No, you've got to have a system in place. Today, I'm going to give you 5 tips. 5 tips you can use to make sure that your resolutions, that they stick, that you're able to see them through, that by the end of this year, you're able to look back and say, you know what? I fell down quite a few times, but I made my resolutions happen, and I am very proud of the goals that I achieved. Now, before I get into this, gentlemen, let me know in the comments, what is your number one goal? If you could have one goal that in 100 days would actually be accomplished, you would be incredibly it would make you feel awesome. Ready? Number 1 is to set SMART goals. What do I mean by SMART? Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. I'm going to quickly go into each of these, and this acronym, I'm going to link to an article where we're going to go into a little bit more detail about this. But guys, I want you to remember that acronym. S stands for specific. So specific is where you actually clearly define the direction that you're going to go. If you're going to start a company, you want to talk about, that's when you want to actually have your quick summary of, okay, it's going to be in this industry, it's going to be doing this, it's going to have this as a basic business model. You should be able to read it off to somebody, and they should be able to envision, not just I'm going to lose weight, but I'm going to lose 70 pounds specifically so that I can be able to do, maybe 15 pull-ups. I'm going to be able to wear that particular, suit that for some reason I've gotten way too big for. I'm going to actually get into the best shape of my life. I'm going to be able to bench twice my body weight. That is very specific. I like a goal like that. Number 2 is make sure it's measurable. Be able to bench press twice your body weight. I weigh 170 pounds. Therefore, I should be able to bench press 340 pounds. I can't bench press 340 pounds, but that is a very measurable goal, and I can specifically go do a max bench, which I think I was able to do 225 the other day. So I know that, okay, I'm at that point. If I want to get to this point, I need to be able to stack on this much more weight. It is specific, it is measurable, and it is attainable. So if I said I want to be able to bench twice my weight in a period of 100 days, that would be a very tough goal. It's probably doable. I believe it is doable. However, that's probably going to be something more from maybe 200. Some of you guys have to want to start a company. I want to get $1 million company and I want to have it by the end of this year. If you're starting from zero, probably not necessarily attainable. However, in 100 days, you can say, you know what? I want to be making an extra $1,000 per month. That is a very attainable goal. Takes us to number 4, which is relevant, and that's relevant to your life. When you're actually, getting in better shape, able to bench press more, able to perhaps squat more, be able to lose that weight. We talked about the example of fitting into an old suit, and therefore it's very relevant because you're going to live longer, you're going to feel better, you're going to look better. And again, I've talked about this multiple times, but make sure it is time bound. So I keep saying this 100 days. I think a year is too long honestly, for a resolution. I like them when they're a bit shorter, 5 weeks, 100 days, all that stuff right there. And guys, by the way, a lot of this is coming out of the Freedom Journal. My friend John Dumas put this together, and so he's got these SMART goals. You write through this for about 100 days. So I really did like this. I'm going to link to it, more information right here. You can go check out the Freedom Journal. I'll talk a little bit more about it at the end. So big point number 2, KISS. Keep it simple, silly. Gentlemen, I violated this last year. What I did with my personal image system, I made it so robust, so detailed. I mean, literally that thing, I said, I'm like, I'm going to create the most awesome men's style course in the entire world. And I did. I mean, this thing is so robust. However, it takes about 6 months. I mean, it has 6 months of information in it. And what I got the feedback from the men that went through it is, Antonio, this is great, but it's a bit intimidating. That wasn't what I was looking to do. I did not keep it simple. And because I didn't keep it simple, a lot of people were dissuaded from actually going through it because they were like, it's just too much. I want something simpler. So I've gone back, I've revamped it, I've made it much simpler. Point number 3 is to reward yourself. So you want to set up, and that's the great thing about having these mini goals or having it set up, broken up by section, is that you can reward yourself. And a reward doesn't have to be like a treat or candy. For me, when I go to the gym, the reward is the hot tub. I think I've mentioned this before. For you, it may be something as simple as going through a journal and being able to write it and write everything out and share it with a community. Things like that, that is a reward. You want a daily reward, not just a big reward at the end. Guys, we are not set up to have to wait. Number 4, accountability. I kind of mentioned it with a group, but you want to have people, maybe have someone, if you've ever had a workout partner, you go to the gym in the morning. You know why? Because you don't want that guy showing up and no one being there and you looking like a bed, not looking good. So you always get up out of bed. You want to have someone that's going to help hold you accountable. Now, John has set it up so that the Freedom Journal actually has a group, and you can go check that out. But if you decide to do this on your own, find someone to hold you accountable. Very important. Number 5, review and refocus. So have you ever heard the story about the guy that was climbing up the corporate ladder? He gets to the top of the ladder, and then he realizes he's on the wrong wall. Do not let that happen to you. Make sure as you're going up, and you're making your way through achieving your goals, you look around, you take a step back and you say, am I going in the right direction? That's why, again, I like a time frame that's relatively small, because worst case, you just spent a couple weeks maybe going in not exactly the right direction, and then you can refocus. Those are the 5 tips. Hopefully you enjoyed them. I've got a support article that's going to go into more. Guys, a bonus tip is to remember, it's about persistence. It's not how many times you fall down. It's that when you fall down, every time you get up and you keep going. Now, I mentioned the Freedom Journal. I want you to go check it out. My friend John Dumas put this together. It is a great journal. It has 100 days that you can fill out. And guys, that's just over 3 months. So really good stuff. But John is a great guy. He is a personal friend of mine. He's a business partner. I served in Iraq with this guy. He is the real deal. In just a few years, he has built a multi-million-dollar business. He's got lots of great advice. And again, I'm going to link to him right over here. Go check out the Freedom Journal and let me know in the comments what your number 1 goal is. What if you could achieve this in the next 100 days, you would just feel great. Guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.